Good morning, all of you. So we have to start a new lesson today, actually new topic. It is macro and microeconomics, right? So this is the second session, and I warmly welcome all of you guys who are sitting on the exam in 2025, right? So we'll start the session, right? Here we are studying economics in two separate ways, right? First one, we are going to study not whole economy as one, the parts of economy. Let's say we are going to study about household, right? Household, or some business firms, individual firms. I'll put here HH, household. You know household, right? Household mean just about our home, right? And then we are going to study separate business firms, right? Industry or business firms. And here I'll put BF. It's not what you think, it is business firms, right? So here, household, business firms, and government. But keep in mind, government, not not all the government, right? It's just, let's say, urban councils, Central Bank of Sri Lanka, and government entities separately, right? Separate government entities. Separate government entities. Are we going to study all of stuff at once? No, no, no. It's separately. How we are going to study household separately and some business firms or industry separately, and also government institutions separately, right? Maybe it is Central Bank of Sri Lanka. Maybe it is government banks. Maybe it is urban councils. So those government institutions we are going to study separately. So what we call for this? This is actually microeconomics. Why? Why it's called micro? We only know microchip, right? Microchip. We do know microchip, right? It is kind of very smaller piece, no? We put into the phone. Just like that, the total economy has been studied separately by microeconomics, just like the microchip. Microeconomics, right? So you got the point, right? You got the point. What does mean microeconomics? Study about individual components separately. That's the micro. When it comes to macro, right? Macroeconomics. Macro, not macro, it's macro, right? What does macroeconomics mean? It means study about all the entire economy at once. We are not going to separately study about individual components. We are going to identify all the economic as once, right? So that means entire economy at once. In here, we are going to study about entire economy at once. What we call in this situation or this study can be identified as macroeconomics, right? Macroeconomics. You got it, right? So that's the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics. In microeconomics, we are going to study individual components of the entire economy separately, or individual components of the economy separately. That means micro. Macro mean entire economy at once, right? So we'll go for the north. The field of economics is divided into two major parts based on whether the total economy is analyzed. Whether the total economy is analyzed. Or entire economy. Or that means based on whether the total economy is analyzed at the entire economy, or small components of the economy, right? If it is entire economy at once, we call macro. If it is individual components separately, we call micro. We'll see microeconomics and macroeconomics. Those are the two main parts. Then what is microeconomics? We'll see. Microeconomics is the study of the economic behavior of individual units in an economic system. Lamai, you have to highlight what I'm underlined here, right? So please highlight the important things I will mention here, right? Microeconomics is the study of the economic behavior of individual units in an economic system, such as consumers, laborers, resource owners, and business firms. Or household, you can put household either, right? Because consumers are representing households. Next one. Microeconomics deals with how an individual consumer spends income to maximize satisfaction. Individual consumer spends income to maximize satisfaction. It's about one individual consumer. How a firm maximizes its profits and how the market price is determined, right? So here market price of a single product, right? Not entire market price, right? Not the general price level. It's only a one market price, right? Only a market price. Let's say market price of pen, market price of laptop, market price of camera. Those kind of individual components market price. You got it, right? Next one. Key economic concept in microeconomics. Then what are the areas that we discussed under microeconomics? We'll see. So here, market demand. Let's say a particular good, what, carrot or marketing or petrol, gas. Those were the actually famous topics in Sri Lanka in past few months, no? Right? So we'll take as an example, we can take fuel price. Fuel price. No, here fuel demand, right? Fuel demand. Then market supply. Supply of gas. Gas supply. Right? Then market structure. Market structure means whatever the good or service, how the market has been created. Right? Let's say agriculture goods. Agriculture goods market structure. Or production theory. Or production function. Right? What does production theory or function mean? What is the relationship between input and output in an economy? What is the relationship between input, process, output? Let's take yogurt industry. We have to put input such as milk, machinery, or labor. Those are the input that we have to put. So the output will be generated after the production process. Then how this can be emphasized through production theory or production function, right? So that is still you can remind it. Make up in depth, right? Up to now, it is the relationship between input and output in an one firm, right? Then factor market. Factor market mean land. Here it should be factor market, not factor market. Let's say labor market, right? Labor market. What does mean labor? We know labors, right? Because all of us are labor in some point. If I'm working at Vidura College, I'm a labor. If some engineer is working at Maga Constructions, he's a labor. If your father is working at whatever the government department, he's a labor, right? So labor market, only one, because I cut the factor, because factor market means land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, all the end, it can be cover entire economy. But here we identify individual component since we can put labor, right? Labor market. We can take under labor market, labor or wages, right? We can select wages. Wages of, that means salaries, salaries of. Put the examples as well. Salaries of government sector or government employees. That is a microeconomic component. Then scarcity. Now we know what does mean scarcity, right? You know, right? Can you remember it? Then say it with me. Limitation of productive resources with compared to unlimited human wants. What is it again? Limitation of productive resources with compared to unlimited human wants. That is what we call scarcity. Right? I'm not going to write it again. Right? Then opportunity cost. We'll study in next session. Right? What does mean opportunity cost? And choice. What does mean choice? Choice means a selection, right? Opportunity cost mean the forgone thing due to selection, right? Up to now, you can keep it in mind as what you forgone. Forgone කියන්නේ මොකද්ද ළමයි? අහිමි වෙනවා, නැති වෙනවා. What you forgone, what මොනවාද ඔයාට අහිමි වෙන්නේ due to selection. මේ choice එක නිසා. ඔයා මොකක් හරි තෝරද්දි when you select something you have to forget about something, right? So what you select is the choice, selection. What you give up, මොකද්ද ඔයා අතාරින්නේ, it is the opportunity cost. What you give up or forgone or sacrificed or whatever, right? So these are the some key concepts in microeconomics. Then macroeconomics. What does mean macroeconomics? Now you know. Study about entire economy at once. කෙලින්ම මේ චූටි ඒවා අපි ස්ටඩි කර ඉන්නේ. අපි කෙලින්ම entire economy. කෙලින්ම නිකන් අර පොඩ්ඩක් දැන් කලින්නේ පොඩි කාලේනේ චූටි ඒවා ස්ටඩි කරා. දැන් ඔක්කොම ටික එකපාර ස්ටඩි කරා. right? හිතන්නකෝ මෙහෙම මිනිස්සෙක් ඉන්නවා. හරිද? There is a person. ගෑල් ළමයි පිරිමි ළමයි එක්ක හිතා ගන්න, පිරිමි ළමයි ගෑල් ළමයි එක්ක හිතා ගන්න. මයික්‍රෝ ඉකොනොමික්ස් වල උනේ මේක right? In microeconomics, we studied about features. අපි හිතමු නහය වෙනම, කට වෙනම, ඇස් වෙනම බලනවා. කොණ්ඩේ වෙනම බලනවා. හරිද? අතපය වෙනම බලනවා. එතනින් එහාට වෙනම බලන්න ඕනේ නෑ, right? ඔන්න ඕවා වෙනම study කරනවා නම් we call it microeconomics. But if we study all the figure or whatever, all the person at once, we call macroeconomics. That simple as it is, right? In economics, there are no any like complex matters. If the teacher is good, you can study everything easily, simply. Right? Then macroeconomics, we know it is the study of behavior of the economy as a whole. Behavior of the economy as a whole. ඔක්කොම එකපාරට. It concerned overall performance in an economy. Overall performance. Or here study about entire economy. Entire economy. Right? It closely monitor the economic structure. It closely monitor economic structure. right? Economic structure of entire economy. If I'm changing or cutting something in here, you have to do it your tutorial as well, right? මම මෙතන කරන හැම change එකක්ම ලියන ඒවා tutorial එකේ ලියලා නැත්නම් ඒවා දාගන්න ඕනේ. tutorial එකේ highlight කරලා නැහැනේ කොහොමද ඉතින් ඒ ටික ඔක්කොම මම කියන ඒවා highlight කරන්න ඕනේ. මම මේ add කරන part එහෙම ලස්සනට දාගෙන යන්න ඕනේ. හොඳේ? right. Next one. Macroeconomics examines entire economy phenomena such as changes in unemployment. What does mean unemployment? Do you know about that? No, right? Unemployment mean in all the factor, how many factors are there without utilizing them in production process, right? There are available factors. වැඩට ගන්න ඕන තරම් දේවල් තියෙනවා. But they are not utilizing. වැඩට ගන්න නැතුව පැත්තකට දාලා අනේ නාස්ති වෙනවා. That's what we call unemployment. So entire economy in Sri Lanka, we can identify unemployment level. In Sri Lanka, we calculate it only for the labor, but still unemployment is relevant for all the factors. අපි හිතමු there's a land with a building, but it's not getting utilized. It's abandoned or it's vacant, but still not utilized. So it means it is at unemployment. So yeah, it's only the land and building, it is go for the microeconomics because that is only individual part, no? Right? So if we calculate total economy unemployment level in Sri Lanka, we call it under Sri Lankan unemployment under macroeconomics, right? Macro. The national income, right? So examples, national income. That means total income generated in the country, utilizing country's resources. National income. Or gross domestic production. What is the value of final goods and services produced within the entire country? What we call GDP, gross domestic production. Gross domestic production. I think it's better if you can write down the short notes as well, right? This is a short note. In my like writing pad, I'm doing short notes. In my tutorial, there's the proper note, right? So here, GDP, gross domestic production, and inflation or general price level, right? I'll give some brief difference. So here we studied only one price level, right? I told you you can see, right? Still you can see, right? In here, we study one household income. One household income. But here we study national income of the entire economy, right? One household, only one. Here we studied one business firm's output. Firm's output. Right? Firm's output. But here we study total output of the entire economy. Total output of the entire economy under macroeconomics. Here we study price of fuel. Price of fuel. Here we study general price level. General price level. What does mean general price level? It is the price level, weighted average price levels of the entire economy, right? Weighted average price level of the entire economy. General price level, we call it price index. No need that one. Or inflation, because inflation means the change of general price level. What is the percentage of change in general price level? We study to inflation. Right? So these are the few examples that I want to mention here. Let's go for the tute again. Rate of growth, that means economic growth. Right? Gross domestic production, the production of entire economy. Inflation, what is the change in general price level of entire economy and price levels of entire economy, right? Microeconomics and macroeconomics. So these are the actually key concept in macroeconomics. It wasn't separately mentioned. So here it's from here to here, right? Those are the key concepts in macroeconomics that if you want, you can list down them, right? Key concept in macroeconomics. First one, unemployment. Second one, national income. Third one, economic growth or rate of economic growth. Fourth one, write them down. Write them down. Otherwise, you are not going to write them, right? First one, unemployment. Second one, national income. Third one, rate of economic growth. Then, or we can call it economic growth rate. Then fourth one, gross domestic product. Fifth one, inflation. And sixth one, price levels, right? Those are the key concepts that we study under macroeconomics. List them down, right? I'll check your books if you meet me. Right? If I met you, I'll check, but otherwise can't know. But anyway, I can take some pictures of your book, right? Anyway, you have to write them down because when I'm requesting the pictures, you have to send it me. Then microeconomics and macroeconomics. What's the difference between micro and macro? We'll see. Here, microeconomics is the study of regarding the behavior of individual economic units, so individual economic variables. It's not about the entire economy. Wait, I think I have to change the color of font. It's so white. Right now it's fine, you can see. But in macroeconomics, it is the study regarding the economy as a whole, right? Economy as a whole. Or further, it examines the entire economic system. It examines the entire economic system and its variables. You got it, right? I think if you have to write down, pause the video, then you can write down. If you are in, when it comes to online classes, I'm going to conduct them very recently because there's a problem with my school. Actually, I'm attending Vidura College. I'm teaching for teaching at Vidura College. So with the time limitation, I couldn't be able to attend for online classes. But in onward next month, we are conducting only online classes. So you have to participate at the time, right? Okay, next one. Microeconomics examines the factor that affect individual choice. Factors that affect individual choices. How changes in these factors alter such choices, right? But in macroeconomics, consider the combined effect of the individual choices, right? That is the combined effect, total effect. In here, we can identify demand for fuel, demand for carrot, demand for egg separately. But here, it would be aggregate. So here we call aggregate demand. As an example, you can write it down. Aggregate demand. Here, demand for carrot. Right? Next one. Microeconomic focuses on the determination of microeconomic variables such as prices. That means prices of different goods and services, right? Not entire price. That means general price level. Output levels maybe in John Keel's or Cargill's output level, large supermarket output level, that kind of separate output levels. Employment in an individual markets, right? Employment in an individual markets. In an individual markets. Maybe in agriculture sector, when it comes to farmers, how many farmers are employed and unemployed? When it comes to graduate sector, how many of them employed are and how many of them are unemployed, right? So it is come under microeconomics. When it comes to macroeconomics, focus on the determination of macroeconomic variables such as average price level, or we call, what was it, general price level of the economy, total production of the entire economy, total employment of Sri Lanka, balance of payment, BOP, balance of payment. What does mean balance of payment? I'll tell you. Balance of payment means the account which record all the transactions between one country and another, right? All the transactions between one country and another. Then this should be recording foreign currency, right? This records in foreign currency. Why? Because we are not dealing with rupees in here. We are dealing in foreign currency. Then the account which record all the foreign currency transaction with other countries is the balance of payment. So it is also macroeconomic component. Why? because it represents all the entire economy transaction with related to other countries, right? Next one. Right. Next topic is positive and normative economics. I'll give a separate recording for the micro and macro, right? Again, it's a summary. What is micro? Study about individual components in an economy separately, right? We are going to separately study about these household factors, business firms, government, and prices of fuel. That means one particular market, firm's output level, එක firm එකක output එක, household income, එක ගෙදරක එක household එකක income එක. ඒ වගේ. But when it comes to macroeconomics, we are going to study about national income. What does mean national income again? The income of entire economy. Then GDP, gross domestic production. The output level, final goods and services produced within entire Sri Lanka or domestically. Right? Then general price level. What is the weighted average price level of entire economy? That's a kind of huge process, right? Because we have to take entire economy, the price which represent entire economy. Oh my God, how to do that, right? Because there are price of pen, price of book, price of dal, price of rice, price of potato. Those are kind of different prices. Then how we can get general price level for the which represent entire economy? Yes, there is a method. We call it price index. We'll study it at maybe 8th lesson, right? 7th or 8th lesson, right? So we'll discuss all the thing and we'll clarify all the thing clearly, right? Then economics would be the easiest subject for you, right? Okay, then we'll wind up this session because otherwise the recording would be kind of over length. Then it's about 1 hour. Okay, I'll send this to you. Again, I'll send a separate video or recording for next session, positive and normative economics, right? Keep in touch. Have a nice day.